Good morning from Kansas City. It's been a well-played series by two of the top teams in the American League so far. Today in the rubber game, Scott Kazmir, who has been unhittable so far in 2015, takes the hill as this 10-game road trip continues. It's the A's and the Royals coming up next. It is a cool, overcast day at Kauffman Stadium, but the rain is gone for now, so we should be able to get this game in. And Scott Kazmir, who's been terrific in his first two starts, he'll look to go 3-0 for the first time in his career. So it's the rubber game of the series. It's the Oakland A's and the Kansas City Royals coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Indeed, Scott Kazmir. 13 innings pitched so far this year. Ray, just 4 hits allowed, 18 strikeouts. Man, he's been good the first two.
And really just one mistake. That was to Altuve in his last start against the Houston Astros. Looked like a cutter that hung a little bit. But the biggest thing and the best thing about Scott Kazmir, we remember him with the Tampa Bay Rays. He would throw fastballs. But you look at his assortment now. Change-ups, a lot of change-ups, curveballs, cut fastballs, and occasionally a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. So he's using all of his pitches. He is a pitcher now instead of a rare back, throw him hard. And I think that's what makes him so great and why he is having such a great start to the season.
And Ray, our crack staff dug into the history books and found this out. 5 shutouts in 12 games. The A's are the first team in Major League Baseball history to win 5 games via the shutout in the first 12 games of the season. How about that? They're also leading the league in ERA.
So like you said, how have they lost 6? Because they have pitched very well last night. The Jessies did it. Jesse Hahn, Jesse Chavez. So great performance by the starting pitchers. At least everybody has been involved in a shutout, but they just need to score some runs. When they don't pitch a shutout, they're very capable of doing that. Maybe today would be the start. All
right, Kazmir's turn today. He'll be opposed by a very good left-hander for the Royals, Danny Duffy. Up next, we'll head back inside the A's pregame live studios for a sports update, and then back to Kansas City for the ball game. So stick around.
is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places. And by DraftKings.com. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code SLIDER for free entry.
See, we told you, everything's fine between the Royals and the Athletics. Well, let's hope so anyways. After some tense moments, the first 2 games of this series, Lorenzo Cain, Brett Lawrie, talking out, quick smile, and they are set to go. Game time weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the boardwalk at beachboardwalk.com. Make sure you visit online for park hours. 66 degrees, so cool, breezy, and overcast. But we have our fingers crossed that the rain will stay away. There is supposed to be some rain coming later this afternoon, but let's hope that we see that rain as we look out our window of our airplane heading to Anaheim.
Well, if they continue, and nobody ever wants to talk about quickness of games, but I will say, and we looked at the numbers last night, Kite, with the exception of the extra inning games, the A's have played very well, crisp games. Pitchers are getting the baseball, they're throwing the baseball, not taking a lot of time. And I think that's good. And Billy Butler, how about that? Country breakfast taking out the lineup card.
Well, maybe that's good luck. We think it is. Here is that A's lineup. Gentry, Canna, Zobrist, Butler, Ross, Fegley, Lawrie, Reddick, Simeon. So a lot of right-handed hitters in the lineup today against Danny Duffy,
the lefty, and actually kind of worked out well because steady diet of right-handers so far facing the Athletics. So the left-handed hitting lineup has been in there. So it gives Bob Melvin, with a day game after night game, a chance to put in some guys who have not played recently. And against the very good left-hander Danny Duffy, he's 1-0 and pitching very well. And so the A's will turn some of the guys around and face this left-hander and try to pick up a series win.
Defensively behind Duffy for the Royals. Changes. Dyson is in left, Kane in center, Orlando in right. Moustakas, Colon, Infante, Hosmer, and Eric Kratz is your catcher today. So Salvador Perez gets his first off day of the 2015 season, and also Alex Gordon is going to get the afternoon off. So Gentry steps in, and we are set for baseball from Kauffman Stadium. Another big crowd assembling for the rubber game of this series. A's with the all gray uniforms on, and the Royals, white pants and the powder blue tops that they like to wear on Sundays when they're at home. First pitch of the game is a fastball outside. Umpires, Greg Gibson is calling balls and strikes. The crew chief for this group is that man, Jim Joyce. A's are 6-6 on the year. The Royals are 8-3. In fact, nobody in the AL West above 500 in the very, very early going.
Parity. I think you use that word, and it's the best word in baseball right now, all across baseball, not just to the A's in the Western Division. But I think from the A's standpoint, Cap, if they could jump ahead, get a game above, and then try to add on, you kind of keeping around the 500 mark. While that's good, it's not going to win you anything if the season's in. But the A's last year were around the 500 and then took off, had a great first half.
2-2 to Gentry. Of course, one of the interesting notes from this year, 6 wins. A's have outscored the opponents 47-1, so 5 shutouts in those 6 wins. Gentry on a foul tip strikes out, and that's the first out of the ball game. A tough start for Craig Gentry to this 2015 season.
Well, the fastball, he's got a good one that he'll throw both sides of the plate, and the 4-saver up about mid-90s with the fastball. So he stays with it, does his catcher, the veteran Kratz. We might not see a lot of playing time this year, but when he does, he's happy to be back there and does a good job receiving the ball and calling a good game.
Here's Canna. Canna playing first base today. He got a day off yesterday. On Friday, he was in the lineup and he was 0 for 4. So the average sitting at 293. Cannon with 3 doubles and the home run, and he's quickly behind in the count 0-2. 96 miles an hour from the left-hander Danny Duffy. Duffy's got good stuff. 26-year-old left-hander, 3rd-round pick in 2007. Up and away, his first really full year in the big leagues was last year. And he was 9-12 with a 2.53 ERA. Away to California. That ERA was 5th best in the American League. Fastball just a bit outside.
You know, as we talked Friday night about Mark Canha and seeing him the first part of this season, he swings hard and he needs to make some adjustments and getting a chance to see different types of pitchers. And they're playing him straight up, kind of really not knowing that much about him at this point. But he will have to adjust as well as anybody.
Oh, yeah. Good curveball. Snapped that one off, and Canha checking to see if it was a strike on the location. So 2 swinging strikeouts for Danny Duffy.
And that's a big curveball to go with that mid-90s fastball. And like Scott Kazmir, who we'll see the similar type of pitching, although the fastball that Kazmir throws maybe not as much the 58% that Duffy does. But Kazmir with a great changeup, and Duffy has the assortment as he just showed with a good curveball.
A little bit outside to Ben Zobrist, who swings around to hit from the right side. Zobrist has just 7 at-bats for right-handed. Where the A's faced just 2 left-handed starting pitchers in the first 12 games. But starting today, they'll face 3 in the next 5 games. Duffy and then a couple lefties in Anaheim for the 4-game series starting tomorrow. So Bob Melvin will have a chance to get some people into the lineup.
He might get a chance to see some of the lefties who play predominantly against the righties play some against lefties just to see what they can do, because he probably, with the number of lefties they're going to see, they don't want to sit the left-hand hitters as much, even though they're facing guys that may not be accustomed to facing.
4-pitch walk to Zobrist.
What Duffy's trying to do with his catcher Kratz is try to establish the outside part of the plate. And so far, Greg Gibson Kratz is asking him now. Gibson just stood up and telling him where he thought the pitches were. So what Kratz might have to do is move in a little bit more on the plate. But Gibson in the slot, as we're told to the umpires, on the left shoulder of the catcher and looking across at an angle. So the outside part of the plate can be a little bit questionable at times. And reputation at times also will get that call. But so far today, Duffy in the first, or at least the 4 to Zobrist, did not happen.
So Butler will hit here in the first inning. 3 hits in the series and a 12-game hitting streak to start the season. Hold the ball. Homer and 7 RBIs for Butler. He's got 17 hits and 47 at-bats, 3 doubles. Missed again, and now it's 2-0.
That was a great shot. Kratz is going to talk to him after 6 consecutive out of the strike zone, but that shot of Duffy, when that front foot passes back towards second base and crosses the pitching rubber, he has to throw to the plate. At that point, cannot throw to first, and there are times that a base runner will pick that up, and once that does happen, this is out of the strike zone high after the first one missed low, so Kratz, good thing for a catcher to go out, maybe picking up something that Duffy's doing incorrectly.
But Butler was going to make Duffy throw a strike, and he did. 2-1 the count.
That time he went to the slide step, did Duffy. Maybe that helped him a little bit to kind of simplify his delivery.
Does it again. And pours it in there for a strike.
So maybe taking a little off as well.
That's a slide step where the front foot stays close to the ground, kind of sliding across the top of the ground. That is usually try to keep the runner at first closer, but in this case maybe it's up Duffy to throw strikes as he's done the last two.
Butler had a good swing there, hits it high and foul. No slide step that time.
He won a little bit extra on it and got him in the strike zone, so the high leg kick, and that's a long time to deliver the ball, but Zobrist not running. And a good fastball inner part of the plate, fouled back.
Long look by Duffy. Zobrist runs this time and pitches inside, throw to second base, not nearly in time, and Zobrist has a stolen base.
We talk about it, Kite. First move, and as soon as Duffy lifted his front foot, Ben Zobrist took off for the 2-2 count and got a great jump, and it takes a big jump and a great jump off a lefty, and you almost have to go as soon as he lifts his foot. Zobrist took off, and very quickly it was called a ball by the home plate umpire. Normally on pitches out of the strike zone, umpires do not say anything, but because the runner was going, he let his catcher know that 2-2 it was a ball.
So the count is full. The A's have a chance to take the lead here in the first. And it's in the dirt to the backstop. Bounces right back to Kratz, but Zobrist will go to third. Butler to first on the walk.
After all those fastballs, I'm surprised you didn't throw him a curveball or something off speed instead of trying to throw him by Billy Butler. So after striking out the first two, hitting the corners, and he just overthrew this one in the dirt, and Kratz had no chance to the backstop the ball, and Billy Butler taking it all the way. The ball actually stayed under and on the ground under the glove of Kratz.
Well, Duffy in his first two starts this year walked just one guy combined in the two starts, but he's walked two already here in the first inning. Looks a little out of whack as he faces Cody Ross. Ross high and foul down the right field line. Ross is 2 for 9 with a couple of RBIs for the Athletics. First appearance with the A's was last Wednesday. Hasn't had a lot of playing time because of all those right-handers.
Pretty good swings on a couple of fastballs, but just foul in the back. With Reddick back in the lineup, Ross is in left field today. So he's played all three outfield positions, so he moves over, and veteran Josh Reddick in his normal position will stay in right.
So Ross behind 0-2. And he drives one to center field. Hit well, but right at Lorenzo Cain. Inning is over. A's strand a pair. Bottom of the first coming up. No score. Their lineup starts with Paulo Orlando in right field, then Moustakas, Kane, Hosmer, Morales, Infante, Kratz, Colon, and Dyson.
Scott Kazmir, the veteran, third start, and he has been, with the exception of one home run to Altuve, it's been near perfect. 0.69 earned run average, 2-0, all the strikeouts in the first two starts. And good thing to see about Kazmir, similar to last year, starting out very strongly, and this year, after pitching a full year last year in 2013, might see that continue throughout this campaign. But good pitcher, and I emphasize pitcher, not just a rare back throw him hard type.
Faced the Royals a couple times last year, did Kazmir, and actually lost twice to the Royals. Did not pitch real well in one of the starts, better in the other start, but still took a couple of losses.
I think some of that had to do with the fact the A's faced the Royals home and away in August, second half, and that's when he kind of had his decline. And A's took him a little bit slower this spring.
Yeah, you're right. August 3rd and August 13th were the dates of the two starts he made against the Royals, and that was about when Kazmir started to struggle some. 18th career start versus Kansas City. 4-7 is the record. Two very strong performances to start this 2015 season. Zobrist backs up. He has it. So one out here in the first. Let's look at the A's defense. Ross in left, Gentry in center, Reddick in right, Laurie, Simeon, Zobrist, Canna on the infield, and Fegley, Josh Fegley behind the plate. Josh Fegley's been jonesing to get in a game.
Yeah, he has.
It's been a while.
But the one thing for a catcher who really in a platoon, and Stephen Vogt will do the same, do a lot of extra work with Marcus Jensen during the days and when you're not playing.
Hit on a line toward Ross, who gets over into left center to make the catch.
I'm not surprised, lefty on lefty, and Hosmer's in there as well as Moustakas. And first pitch fastball. They're not going to wait around to see the curve or maybe even a changeup. It's Josh Fegley behind the plate, and we saw him and very impressed with his performance during the spring training when he got a chance to catch a lot. Stephen Vogt was taking a little bit slow getting back because of the foot surgery last year, so Fegley got a chance to learn the pitching staff, and you'll see how it works out today with Kazmir.
Facing Lorenzo Cain. That hit Cain, and it did. So the crowd not happy, and neither is Cain.
Well, you hear a thud, and it was his left foot as he jumped and tried to get out of the way. And Greg Gibson is warning that bench, I think, or maybe tell him no, maybe he's not. Maybe just tell him to sit down. But the fastball down and in. At the foot. Gibson walking in front. He's calling Jim Joyce, the crew chief, over and calling the umpires in. Usually that indicates a warning. He's telling him to sit down.
I think there was some chirping from the Royals dugout toward Kazmir, and I think he was just telling him to calm down.
And now Jim Joyce, the crew chief, is they're talking to him because he was the one probably to make the decision. And Kai, I had a chance to talk to Jesse Hahn and also to Jim Joyce. Remember last night after the plunking and the benches clearing, Jesse Hahn walked to the mound and Jim Joyce walked out to him, and at times you'd think, okay, be careful. But Jim Joyce said to Jesse Hahn, I know you like to pitch inside. Pitch your normal game.
Oh, that's good.
If I see something that I think you're throwing at somebody, I'll take issue at that point. That's a warning. So they discussed it and decided to try to stop it now.
Somebody got thrown out in the Royals dugout. Really? Greg Gibson just looked in there and they kept chirping and they threw him out. And now Yost is coming out. I don't know who got thrown out. And now Yost has been thrown out, and I don't know if he was the original guy tossed.
Probably not, because he was telling him not to come out. And then when he did, he threw him out.
So it's ugly early here at Kauffman Stadium, and Yost is red hot.
Well, and that pointing to home plate indicated he's saying that my hitter was thrown at it. You're going to warn both benches.
So now Gibson is talking to Hosmer. And they're chewing on each other a little bit. What the heck is going on here, Ray?
I have no idea. But Jim Joyce, the crew chief, is right in the middle of it, too, which usually kind of defer to him. And now Joyce is going over to talk to somebody in the dugout.
So we're still not sure who the first person that was tossed is. Now, it may have been Yost, but.
Well, Kratz is the catcher that he's talking to. Don Wakamatsu is a bench coach. Dale Swaim was Dave Island. We'll see if we can find him. They will make an announcement, I'm sure, in the press box as to who was ejected.
Island, the pitching coach, so that's a possibility. But we'll let you know when we find out. But we do know Ned Yost is gone. So here's Hosmer, and the big crowd's into it in the very first inning.
And Kane might run on the first pitch.
First pitch, and Hosmer weaves at it, missed it. So we thought everything's good. We're good. Everything's good. Last 2 days we put it behind us. Well, that lasted about a half an inning.
2 hitters as far as the Royals is concerned.
Kane not running. And Hosmer swings at this.
Good change up in the 0-1, so that's kind of setting the tone for Scott Kazmir to, against the lefties, throw the change up. Moustakas hit a first pitch fastball, line drive to left field, but
Hosmer's had a good series, 5 for 7 with a walk. Pitches outside. So we were told it just Ned Yost. So he threw Ned Yost out, and then when Yost came out to argue, then he did the throw out signal again. So
so it was the same one. So okay.
Ned Yost technically got tossed twice.
So that means a double fine.
Rolled over towards Zobrist, who scoops it up. Side retired, and some action in the bottom of the first. We'll go to the second. Crowd's not happy here in Kansas City. No score.
talking to Bob Melvin, explaining the umpire's decision, warning everybody, and Greg Gibson talking to Duffy. So a lot going on.
And Cap, I hope what Gibson was talking to Duffy about, and it is the discretion of the umpire, because what you don't want to do is take away the inside part of the plate from Kazmir or from Duffy. So sometimes the guy's been hit after a warning with a breaking ball. Well, the guy's not trying to hit somebody with a curveball. It's going to be a fastball, which is your most highest percentage pitch. So it really has to depend on what the umpire behind the plate is thinking.
First pitch to Fegley is just a touch low.
Now, I will say, if a pitcher wants to get ejected, and if he throws at somebody intentionally with a fastball, then maybe that would be the case very quickly. But I think hopefully this game will get back to some normalcy.
Yeah, baby.
Inside corner strike to Fegley. Fegley 4 hits and 9 at bats. On the ground, and Moustakas, who picks it, flips across, Fegley's out. So it all started on Friday with the Laurie slide. A's thought it was an okay slide. Royals thought it was unnecessary. So that's just a matter of opinion there. Escobar strained his knee. He has not played since then. He's not believed to be serious. So that's how it started. Then last night, Laurie was hit with a pitch. Walked to first base. And I don't know, it seemed to me like that would have taken care of it.
Yeah.
And then we don't know what the intent was with Kazmir, but Kazmir hit Kane.
It was confirmed, Laurie, and actually not wearing anything today, but he was not wearing an elbow pad. It was strictly, and he showed me
that's impressive.
That's right, the lump on his left arm, right above his elbow, and it's quite huge. But this is taking a very high velocity fastball on the left side. It sounded like a thud, maybe it hit a pad or something, but there was nothing there. And to be very honest, in talking to Laurie, and he talked about it in the paper, and what Gibson said, the first base, now the home plate umpire said, Laurie said, if I charge the mound, somebody's going to get hurt. We're trying to win. He said, I just wanted to walk to first base and try to forget about it and know that it was going to happen and be done with it. He did, and the bench is empty, but really nothing happened. Two quick outs for Scott Kazmir, and Lorenzo Cain got him on the left foot. Crowd booed. Ed Yost, the manager, ejected.
Fastball low, he swings and misses for the second out, and the crowd stands up. So 2 outs.
They're back, throw him hard fastball. You know, one thing issues will do is bring the crowd out, because especially the home crowd. Remember many years ago, there was a little Donnybrook in Cleveland against the Detroit Tigers. Of course, as my wife always said, you always come out bleeding. Why? Well, you know, that's kind of the way it was, but ended up having stitches and all kinds of stuff. Went to Boston, went back to Detroit. Place was sold out.
Yeah.
Picture the first one, threw close to me, and I got out of the way. Place erupted. Like, oh, here we go again. You know, just that's the way it is. It's sometimes the way it happens. But bottom line, it's a great game. You just don't want to get anybody hurt and have anybody hurt because of things that happen.
2-0 to Reddick.
Well, 39,000 here on Friday night, 33,000 last night, and it's probably somewhere in between there today, as it looks like it's almost sold out.
Well, Mike Swanson he said that exact same thing. Okay, that it looks like if the weather holds up, You get some late arrivals for those seats that might be available, but bottom line, it's going to be at least a sellout and maybe standing room only again. And what an excitement. You said it best on Friday, what, over 100,000 expected.
That's what they thought.
Yeah, for the 3-game series, and they've been very close, if not over that.
3-1 to Reddick. Reddick hits one high in the air. Lorenzo Cain drifts to his right. He's got it. 3 up, 3 down inning for Danny Duffy. Bottom of the second coming up, no score. Good Sausage Company, get grillin'. Let's look outside. Beautiful Kauffman Stadium. Opened way back in 1973, and it's still a very cool ballpark. Of course, lots of renovations done in 2011. Get ready for the All-Star game, which was here in 2012.
About $250,000 worth of renovations, which it shows it.
That one's drilled to right. Reddick gets back. Morales is out. Well, what they did with that $250 million, they did it right.
Yeah,
made some changes in the outfield, but it is a beautiful ballpark. It's stood the test of time.
But as we talked earlier in this series, and how they built it in a location where really nothing's really going to be built up around it, I have to worry about tearing it down and building a new one. There was some talk about taking it back downtown, but they kept it here and renovated it, and I think it's the best move they could have made.
Yeah.
But there's a picture down in the visiting clubhouse as you walk in. It shows a 1973 All-Star game played here before the one a couple of years ago, and it shows the American League team lining up on the first base line.
Oh, that's great.
And it's great to see I think every player has the old stirrup socks with a high arc, you know. And some of the guys walked up and said, "What is that?" And I said, "That's the way they used to wear the stirrup socks."
Well, it's the game you play when you walk in the clubhouse. Can you name the American League All-Star team? Because you see their backs.
Yeah, exactly.
But the names are a little blurred because it's too far, but you can see their numbers. Laurie dives, knocks it down, but it's going to be a hit for Omar Infante.
They couldn't find it once he did knock it down. Had his glove momentarily. They might have been able to get up to throw out Infante, but at least he saved 2 bases and keeps the double play in order, which is always important. A lot of energy from Brett Laurie.
Ow.
Yeah. Well, it just matches his left side where he got hit last night.
So here's the catcher, Eric Kratz. First at bat of the year for Kratz. But this stadium, Ray, is named after the first owner of the Kansas City Royals, Ewing Kauffman.
Yeah.
The Kaufmans. A great statue. Blocked nicely by Fegley. The first three are 69, first four actually. 69, 70, 71, and 72. They played at Old Municipal Stadium, and I know, Ray, you've talked about that many times. That's where the Kansas City A's play. This one's a touch nicer.
Yes. Even when it had artificial surface, it was pretty nice. But with the real grass, it makes it really special.
Strike called to Kratz.
I joined the Indians in 1967. That was the first stadium I went to.
Really?
And George Tome was the head groundskeeper. I'll never forget, between innings, he would have his ground crew line up on the left field foul line, comb the outfield to the right side, picking up any debris. It was constantly immaculate.
So the field itself was fine. Just the rest of the stadium was a little old.
Yeah. A lot of. Actually, that was first game after the All-Star game in '70. Was back in Kansas City over there. So that was quite a thrill.
Fastball there, right in on the hands of Kratz. Well, the Royals came into baseball in '69 with the Seattle Pilots, the Montreal Expos, and the San Diego Padres. So that was big expansion. Four teams, two in each league, came in. High fastball on 3-2, and Kratz swung at ball 4.
Well, they figured he's going to get a fastball and unload it, even though it was out of the strike zone. Elevated, always tough to lay off. Cappy, I learned something very quickly. I may have told this story before, but it's always something reminded of that. Staying in the hotel we stayed in downtown Kansas City was they actually had an elevator operator, and that's when curfews were checked, midnight curfew. And so the manager gave the elevator operator a baseball. So he said, anybody comes in after midnight, get our autographs, get the autographs.
Genius.
And so the next day he had a team meeting. So I'm sitting there, this young kid, and said, what's going on? And the manager simply said, I know who was out last night, because here's the baseball. So I expect all of you to come into my office. And I went, wow. I'm this young kid. I said, my introduction to Major League Baseball.
You haven't missed curfew since then.
Well, I never did anyway, but I was definitely not after that.
Who was the manager?
I'm trying to think. I'll have to remember. Bernie Tebbets was in '66, my first camp. And I don't know if he was still then. Later, I know Joe Adcock was a manager for a while. And the great Joe Adcock, he'd be sitting in front of the bus, and the bus would leave at 5 o'clock. If somebody came at 5:01 or 4:59, he'd say, close the door, let's go. Gotta take a taxi. So, but now that elevator operator with autographed baseball, that was pretty impressive.
It's a good move.
Yeah. But there's no denying who was out, because they had signed, yeah, sure, I can sign the baseball for you. Little did they know it. Joe Adcock at 67. Thank you, Delaire. And yeah, I knew it was. That's why I didn't say anything whenever it happened, because I was just mouth open in awe of everything. Alvin Dart came in '68, exactly.
0-2 pitch, hit hard, but Simeon grabs it, flips to second, side, retired. So a runner left after the base hit by Infante, and we're scoreless after 2.
Changer. June 14th, 2011. Danny Duffy gets his first major league win in Oakland against the A's. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, and he was throwing hard that night.
Yeah, and I remember he had family and friends there, and everybody was impressed. They got hurt. All of a sudden, he got hurt.
That's right.
Couldn't pitch, and
then Tommy John.
Yeah, and then everybody was happy.
Yeah, 2012, he had Tommy John.
Yeah, but he was very, very good that game, and I remember all the people there to watch him, and he's excited. And unfortunately, injury bug got him, but he was back and pitching very strongly. And A's have seen it the first 2 innings.
A couple years removed from Tommy John surgery, Danny Duffy has a chance to be kind of a cornerstone guy for the Royals if he can stay healthy. The Royals signed Ventura, the young man who pitched last night, to a 5-year contract extension. Trying to lock up their young players.
I want to say, did not Madison Bumgarner also sign a long-term deal? And after the success he had last year, it seems like people started going to want to renegotiate, and said, I signed the contract.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah, and so, guys commit. And I give them a lot of credit for saying, basically, I committed to it. I'm going to stick with it. And, anything can happen to a pitcher anyway. But they also look at it as a positive. They're able to sign a contract, get security, pitch well, and stick with the contract.
That's right. You sign a contract like that, which is, obviously now it looks like a pretty good deal for the team, but the risk you're taking is you may be losing some money.
Exactly right.
The risk the team is taking is you may get hurt and they still have to pay you.
Exactly.
No swing, and Simeon has a leadoff walk. Greg Gibson, the home plate umpire, what he did right there, Ray, is what the home plate umpire should do on every check swing. He immediately went right to the base umpire.
I agree 100%, and I'm sure you've heard me say it 100 times.
Well, and nobody asked him. He didn't need to be asked. He knew it was close, and he immediately went to Marvin Hudson at first.
Because to me, and I think we agree on this, that if an umpire is concentrating on the baseball, how can he see his swing?
That's right. You can't see the ball and the bat at the same time.
And that's why a first and third base umpire, depending on left or right-handed hitter, they can see it. And it forces them to know that the crew that they're with, that, they're going to defer to me. Not that they don't pay attention, but a little bit extra attention paid, especially on a check swing.
I'm being somewhat facetious, Ray, but if I was a home plate umpire, I don't want anything to do with that call.
I agree.
You call it.
I agree. Why? Because it's a no-win situation. So that's right.
You take it. I don't want it.
That's right. And what can you do? I mean, if you're going to argue, well, he made the call. I didn't. No, I agree 100% with you.
2-0 to Gentry. Gentry hits one in the air, right side of the diamond. Infante drifts back. So Craig Gentry, he's got to be wondering, I need to restart here.
Yeah.
Start this season over. Gentry is now 0 for 16. So that's always it. Makes you grind a little bit as a player. Here's Canna.
And he's also in a position now where he started the season because the injuries to Reddick and Coco. And then Canna got a little bit hot, and the manager decided to stick with the hot hand, and so then Gentry doesn't play. And maybe back in a platoon makes it even more difficult to get at bats, not necessarily on a consistent basis. And really, Mark Canna with a day off yesterday, he's back in a position where he's trying to make things happen instead of just being natural as he was the first week.
Canna struck out on a good slider from Duffy in the first inning. 3 strikeouts for Duffy, also 3 walks. Simeon with a decent lead over at first. Hosmer
out in front of the bag. I've seen a lot of teams do that now. It's interesting.
Well, the Angels started it.
Yeah.
And Angels started a lot of things. They started going first to third, and everybody's tried to follow that suit. And same with left-handed pitcher, first baseman playing off the bag a little bit. I think it's a little confusing for a base runner because you're thinking he's off the bag. How's he going to get back? Well, just as soon as you take off, he's going to step off and pick you off. But it probably makes it a little bit more difficult for a base runner to try to determine what he's doing.
So you can see the defensive advantage.
Absolutely.
By playing the first baseman out in front. Actually, what he is, he's basically a step closer to the pitchers now in that direction as he holds the runner. His foot is not on the bag.
Hey, Cap, you were right. It was Dave Island, the pitching coach, who was also ejected.
All right. We just got that report. We thought that there was a couple ejections, but the public address announcer or in-house announcer up here in the press box said just Yost. But Island is gone as well.
So Yost was coming out to argue on his pitching coach's behalf, and that's when Gibson said don't come out. And once he did come out, it's when he ejected. So there were 3 ejections, twice with Yost and Dave Island.
3-0 to Canna. But getting back to the first baseman holding the runner, I know you may say, well, how are you going to pick somebody off? I don't think the object is to pick somebody off. I mean, how often do you pick somebody off? It happens a handful of times a year.
Well,
the object is to just confuse the runner, which maybe it does work.
Well, what we saw and have seen with the Angels and with the lefties couple pitching down there, we'll see it a little bit more. But the first baseman would actually retreat back to the bag and maybe attempt, but it's hard to be thrown to a moving target from a left-handed pitcher standpoint.
Outside, and it's another walk. That's 4 walks issued by Duffy. So he's trying to take advantage of the wildness.
Because your point well taken about just showing that you're going to throw, because again we go back to what the Royals said in the play-in wild card game last year. Did not think he was going to throw, but if he did, it would shut down a running game. So what Duffy did with the runner at first and Semien, Hosmer didn't move. He just took the throw and threw it back. So as long as you know as a base runner he might throw over, you can't be overly aggressive and take off on first move.
So maybe it doesn't mean teams won't steal, but they won't be able to get that great jump.
Exactly. But you just have to put the thought in somebody's mind that you might throw over, whether it's an actual pickoff move or just as a courtesy throw to let you know I'm going to do it.
Zobrist walked in the first. He bunts down the third baseline. He bunts it foul. So now the count is 0-2.
Second time that's happened. And Ben, we saw it happen in Oakland, and Ben, a couple of runners on base, and maybe, I don't know, just thinking with the third baseman playing deep, but you have a chance to drive in a run, and especially a pitch. I thought when he faked the first bunt, maybe he's making sure Duffy threw a strike, and then attempted another bunt, and it did go foul. So now he's in a hole 0-2.
Catcher calls timeout. Semien at second, Canna at first. So good speed on the bases for the A's. The 2 pitch. Zobrist lays off a fastball that was below the knees. Outfield shallow and a shade toward right center. Dyson in left field, not real shallow as he does take a couple steps in. Another fastball just a little bit low, 2-2.
Those are great takes by Ben Zobrist. They're very close pitches, and fortunately Greg Gibson is calling, or the low pitch is not being called. And those are our pitcher's pitches, but Zobrist back to the count even after taking 2 very close fastballs.
Billy Butler waits in the on-deck circle. Double look by Duffy, and the pitch is in the dirt. A's do not have a hit yet, but they've received the 4 walks.
A good block by Eric Kratz. And again, if you're not catching every day, you want to do the work in between. Kratz does, and that keeps 2 runners at the first and second instead of advancing. So a big stop right there is Fegley actually in the second inning. Salvador Perez, the everyday catcher.
There's a base hit to right field. Here comes Orlando. Simeon's being waved home. The throw to the plate is high. And the throw back to second, and they get the out at second base. So Simeon scores. Zobrist out at second. So A's take the 1-0 lead.
High fastball, base hit right field, and the high throw is the reason that Zobrist rounded the bag. Once he thought the cutoff man was missed, Orlando almost missed it. Overthrew everybody but Kratz. Very alert going to second base. No chance to get the runner going to third. But just, it looked like Orlando thought he might have a chance to get Simeon, and he might have. But he gets the trailing runner, and that's a huge out.
Yeah, that is a big out.
Yeah.
Would have been. Well, if he stays at first, you got first and third 1 out, or if he can get in there at second and third 1 out, but now 2 outs with Canna at third. So Zobrist gets his 7th RBI of the year.
ACA's take advantage of one of the walks in this inning.
So 1-1 the count. First hit for the A's, and it knocks in a run. Close, so Duffy all over the place today.
But he's trying to mix in a curveball, which he just did to Butler. He did not throw it 3-2, stay with a fastball the first at bat to Butler, eventually walking him with 2 outs. But I think you probably realize the fastball, while it's good, it still has to use his other pitches.
And now 3-1.
Cap, I think that the fact that 2 low pitches to Zobrist were not called strikes. Now he's got to try to make an adjustment, and he's elevating a little bit too much.
63 pitches, and we're in the 3rd inning. So a quick meeting at the mound between pitcher and catcher is over. This is pitch number 25 in this inning by Danny Duffy. And here it is, and it's not close. And Butler walks. So his pitches aren't really even close. And Don Wakamatsu is going to come out. 5 walks for Duffy. Remember, he struck out the first 2 batters of the ball game. Gentry and Canna. Always good to see Don.
Yeah, bench coach for the Athletics, manager for the Mariners, and now been with Ned Yost. Did interview a couple of times this offseason, but you know, one of the problems, and it's a good problem to have, bench coach who wants to be a manager, and Don Wakamatsu probably still should be managing, but because the Royals were in the World Series, they worked all of October, and while other teams were interviewing potential managers, he was said, hey, one club said, can you come in the off day? And he said, I'm not going to leave the team during the World Series, you know, which he showed that he wanted to be with the team throughout, and he stayed, and he's back with the bench coach, but a very good baseball man.
First pitch to Ross, good swing, fouls it into the upper deck. Ross hit a fly ball to center field to end the first with a couple of runners on. He's got another RBI opportunity here. And it's 0-2, but a couple of good swings by Ross.
Ross has seen nothing but fastballs. 3 in the first inning, first at bat. 2 here. So the old saying, you keep throwing, I'll catch up to it, and I'll do some damage and see if he gets another one 0-2.
So 0-2, Ross is going to have to battle back. Here's the pitch. Up and away. Canna at third, Butler at first. A lot of standing around for the Royals defenders. Pitch number 67 coming up. And it's a curveball hit high in the air, left center. Dyson and Kane together. It'll be the center fielder who grabs it. Side retired. A run for the A's in the Ben Zobrist RBI single. Bottom of the third coming up. Dyson to lead it off. 1-0 the A's lead.
This luxurious suite is located above first base bag and includes an extensive high-end food and beverage package featuring chicken kebabs, capri sandwiches, sausages, sliders, salads, desserts, soda, water, beer, wine, and more. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit athletics.com/president. What could be more with all of that?
More?
Maybe the ribs that we had next door. Right, Will? Tell you what, Rex Hudler has a friend in the ribs business that has them delivered, and unfortunately, today was the day. And they are on.
Did you get in there a little bit?
Oh.
Yeah, he offered me some, but I had just eaten, unfortunately.
Wow.
I wish I would have.
And I went over and I said, where's the bone? He said, well, we take this is all meat. Oh, man, ribs are just.
I mean, is that thing sitting up there?
That's what Will's trying to
meat?
think about. He said, I may have to use my fingers. I said, forget it. Use them. You don't need a fork and knife. Just pick it up and eat it.
What about your partner over here?
Well, are they still there? We'll get some.
Simeon's going to have to hurry, and the throw is not in time. So Dyson has an infield hit, and you could see it coming, Ray.
Well, the fact the bat was broken and is slowly hit. Simeon charged, strong throw, but from the left-handed batter's box, you hear the crack of the bat. That slowed the ball down, but Dyson can fly, and he just flew down the line to get an infield hit. Slight little hesitation as Simeon maybe did not have the ball cleanly in his webbing, but that's what the young man can do in Dyson. He'll get a few of those infield hits. But if you hit the ball crisply, it's going to be an out. He broke his bat, slowed it down, and he's on first.
So Dyson gets his second hit of the season, and now to the top of the order in Paulo Orlando. So you got to keep a very close eye on Dyson. So here's our true story for today, brought to you by McDonald's. Paulo Orlando has 5 major league hits, folks. 4 are triples. He is the first player in Major League's modern era with 4 triples in his first 4 career games, and there they are. And he's fast. That was the hit on Friday. It was one of the biggest hit in the game. Paulo Orlando. Good pitch there, and it's 0-2.
Now for Scott Kazmir, remember the Royals like to run. Rusty Kuntz is a great first base coach trying to detect maybe what a pitcher's doing. Dyson has tremendous speed. So Scott Kazmir, slide step, quick to the plate. Kuntz, of course, the stopwatch to see, but he also tries to see something that Kazmir might be doing.
That one dribbled. Rolls foul, right side.
Now, kind of interesting in talking about how base runners try to pick up something a pitcher might be doing. And you always think about the front foot and lifting it, crossing back the pitching rubber. Someone said, you ever check the left foot of a left-handed pitcher, which is close to the rubber? See the left foot? Now, if he is throwing one way or the other, sometimes the foot will vary. If he's throwing home, he gets a little bit extra, and you can see kind of the toes crunch up a little bit because he's pushing off the foot. Never even thought about that. So you learn something every day. But you watch the left foot, see it move a little bit. He can't throw to the plate that way because the front of the foot lifted up. But see, lefties do that. I asked Kurt Young about it, and he said that's been kind of common for a left-handed pitcher because you have to push off. But see, if a righty's doing that, he could go to the plate, pushing off his right foot, or throw to first base. But for a lefty, he has to vary that foot. So I think it's something that all lefties do. I mean, Kurt pitched a few years ago, back in the 80s. He said, yeah, I did it.
Dyson not running. Well, slice foul. Well, if you just think about it, I mean, if you're a left-handed pitcher, you actually start your windup when you throw to first.
Yeah.
A right-hander, it doesn't do that.
Exactly.
He's got to spin around.
Question is first base coach Rusty Kuntz see it, and can he say quickly enough to the runner to go based on what the pitcher might be doing with his left foot?
Cannon near the seats, and he reaches out, just could not quite get it. Bounces on the roof of, it's like a little field level suite down there past the Royals dugout. There's one on each side of the stadium.
And that's the extension that you see. And of course here, not a lot of foul territory, and as we note in traveling around the American League, many of the balls that end up in the seats and an extra swing are outs at the Coliseum, and that's why pitchers love it in Oakland.
Dyson not moving, and a fastball away at 94 miles an hour. 1-2. Moustakas and Kane, the next 2 hitters for the Royals.
But regardless of a pitcher, lefty, righty, to vary the delivery, slide step, quick pitch, do whatever to try to change everything so a runner can't pick up something.
Foul at the plate. Well, if you're the Royals, this is a good setup for you because you have a speed leadoff type hitter batting 9th, and he gets on. Well, that's exactly what you want. Base Steelers 18 for 20 against Kazmir last year. The Royals last year had 153 stolen bases. That was the most in the American League. In fact, they had 31 more steals than any other team in the American League. 153. They got 9 so far this year in 11 games. Swing and a miss. So Orlando chased, and Kazmir gets his 2nd strikeout.
Well, that's a great job by Scott Kazmir. He held, which means he froze the runner at first and then pulled the string on the hitter, and really kind of quick pitch once he decided to throw the plate. So Scott Kazmir may be aware, very aware of the running of the Kansas City Royals. And he so far has done a great job of altering his delivery to the plate. And that is what a lefty needs to do, and he's doing it perfectly.
First pitch to Moustakas, swings and misses, chased the ball. Moustakas lined out to Ross in left field in the first inning. He's 1 for 9 in this series. Royals are very much hoping that Moustakas is now starting to put it all together. Bounces that one to Zobrist, scoops, throws to second for 1, back to first, double play. So Dyson never attempts to steal, and the A's finish the inning with a double play. We're on to the 4th. It's the A's 1 and the Royals nothing.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Fegley back to Duffy, who finds the baseball and then throws Fegley out. Hard hit ball. Duffy is going to be checked to see if he's okay.
And Don Wakamatsu out again, as he is the acting manager, and with off his body someplace. Couldn't really tell. Lower extremities maybe. The follow through. Oh, maybe got just enough glove on it, maybe, before it hit his body. And down to hands on the knees. So right back up the middle. Yeah, it got him though. It's always better to check and be safe than sorry.
So with 1 out, Laurie will hit.
What are these fans going to do when the A's leave town?
Going to be boring around here.
Yeah, won't have anybody to boo. Well, maybe they'll have moose.
Get back to Moustakas.
Yeah.
Laurie struck out in the second inning. Curve is lined but foul. So now we're behind in the count, 0-2. He's 2 for 7 in the series. corner. Strike 3 called. That's strikeout number 4 for Duffy, and that was a pretty good pitch.
They started to get the fastball. It was elevated about belt high, but it caught the inside corner. So while the outside pitch, but look at the home plate umpire, Greg Gibson, right on the left shoulder, looking right down the inside part of the plate. And it probably called that one a little bit more consistently than the one towards the outside. At least so far, he has not given Duffy any of those.
So 2 outs, and here's Reddick. First pitch, strike call. Reddick 0 for 1 with a fly ball to center field, and he rips that one just foul. A long home run for Reddick last night, his first of the year.
As he told us, he said, I could not hit the ball any better. And he also confirmed that he knew he was going to get a 4-seam fastball. He said if he just changed and had any slight movement at all, could have changed the entire approach. But he looked for the 4-seam, got the 4-seam, and crushed it.
Infield shifted to the right, outfield shifted to the left. Occasionally you'll see that.
The old Harold Baines shift. It's one of the first I ever saw where an infield outfield would do that with the great hitter, now coach for the White Sox.
Fastball, foul back.
But your point last night with Reddick's home run, while great, the base hit to left field in his next at bat with the pitch away, and as he told us in the post game that those are pitches he wants to try to take that direction because he has so much room, especially in the 2-strike count. Maybe he won't get a pitch that he can pull.
Into the shift, through the shift, and a base hit. Second hit for the A's.
Breaking ball able to stay on it and hit it hard, and surprisingly able to get it through a very deep shift. And when you have one of the infielders playing in shallow outfield in the grass, yet still able to get it. Now you have to see infielders taking ground balls out on the grass because it's a different hop.
Yep, and they do.
Yeah.
Simeon walked and scored in the 3rd. He's the 9th place hitter. Garrett Richards making his first start back from injury. Tore up that knee last year, so the Angels thrilled to get Richards back today. He's facing the Astros in Houston. Astros with a 2-0 lead in the 4th inning over the Angels. Luis Valbuena hit a 2-run homer against Richards for the only 2 runs in that game. That's the rubber game of the series. Of course, the Angels will head home, get ready to host the A's after that game. Astros will head to Seattle, take on the Mariners. Very close. Hosmer took a peek into the dugout. I think they may want to look at this.
Yeah, Wakamatsu, and they are taking a quick look at it.
Wakamatsu on the top step, looking back into the dugout.
It's that step off. That's an old Dallas Braden move. And of course, where the Marvin Hudson is positioned, he's behind, but the left foot, another left-handed pitcher, and Duffy, see what he does with the left foot.
Strike called, 1-1 the count.
He's throwing to the plate, see if his foot stays. Not a lot of movement for his toes, so maybe he has a steel plate at the top of his foot so his toes don't wiggle. But I guess everybody's different, so that's why runners and coaches kind of look to see if they can pick up something.
Headed toward the gap. Dyson on the move. Dyson makes the running catch. Saved a run. Showing off the speed, and Simeon had to think he had an RBI double off the bat. Dyson with a very nice play. Tip of the cap from his starting pitcher, and it remains a 1-0 A's lead.
By Prism. Now your team can collaborate at a whole new level with video walls from Prism. Learn how at prism.com. If you're looking for Waldo, there he is. That's kind of funny.
Oh, that's
in a sea of blue.
Yeah,
we have found Waldo.
That's pretty good because everybody's always saying, "Where is Waldo?"
Yeah, we know he's at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. First pitch to Lorenzo Cain, in for a strike. Cain, Hosmer, and Morales here in the bottom of the fourth inning. A's with a 1-0 lead. Rangers and the Mariners will get started in a little bit. Detweiler and Paxton. That'll be the rubber game of that series up in Seattle. Part of a long homestand for the Mariners.
Not a big night for the Mariners last night, and King Felix.
Yeah.
King Felix brings the people out. He had a giveaway on top of it of what, 43,000 plus on hand at Safeco Field, and
he pitched great.
Yeah, 12 strikeouts, 7 innings. Completed the deal against the Mariners, or against the Rangers, and what a performance by the King.
So Seattle 4-7 now on the year, so off to a little bit of a slow start.
That's the type of team that's very happy it's a long season.
Yep,
because there are clubs that do get off to slow starts, but realize it is a long season and just. It's cliché-ish, but it's true. One game at a time, you know.
So Cain strikes out. This is how the top of this inning ended.
Boy, it did look like an RBI double, but Dyson, great angle, and of course, tremendous speed. He had some difficulties playing in right field. That was in Minnesota, so he did not play the opener of the series. Orlando was there, and Duffy, of course, any pitcher very appreciative of that kind of speed, and that's a great play. And of course, last year when they made the defensive movements, they would put Cain in right and Dyson in center, and so that did not work out, or they want to keep Cain there, and so maybe moving him to left is something that they're not going to. No, I'm sorry, the Gold Glover is going to be in left field. Yeah, Alex Gordon is going to play.
0-2 to Hosmer, who grounded out to second in the first inning.
So I say the best part of this inning, you look at the 42 total for Scott Kazmir pitching in the fourth inning, but the best part of this game so far has been Dyson leading off last inning and Scott Kazmir changing his delivery enough that he did not run, and Moustakas hit into a 4-6-3 double play. That was huge, because if he steals second, it's a whole different inning. But Kazmir did his job to keep Dyson in first and get a double play to get out of the inning.
Fouled again, so Hosmer hanging in there.
Little protecting by Hosmer on the back-to-back 0-2 pitches.
So another 0-2 pitch. Here it is. And it's now 1-2. Kazmir sharp again today. Just a couple of hits so far.
His fastball in that range, 92, 93, 94. That's the four seam, and of course all the other pitches he will throw consistently and throw very well. Makes that fastball seem even harder.
Center field hit well. Gentry's back, and Gentry grabs it. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Here's the pitch usage for Kazmir.
I always like to see those because the 59% fastball, so many variations of the fastball. You can almost throw the cutter into that, and looking at the slider and 20% changeups, but that's a high percentage of changeups, and especially lefty throws it so well. And Kazmir definitely does that.
2 outs for Kendrys Morales.
fact, we're feeling that breeze coming to the booth,
Yep.
which would indicate the ball that was just hit by Hosmer to straightaway center field. And actually, the wind may have knocked it down a little bit. They're going quite hard.
Laurie across in time, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Scott Kazmir. We're moving to the 5th from Kansas City. It's the A's 1 and the Royals nothing.
Presented by Kelly Moore Paints on Tuesday, May the 12th, when the A's host the Boston Red Sox, Big Papi, and all the big boys. 15,000 fans will walk away with this green and gold fleece blanket that pays homage to Sean Doolittle's signature pose. Get tickets now at athletics.com/tickets. Some updates on Dr. Doolittle. He's increasing his distance from throwing, and I guess when the A's return to the Coliseum, he's supposed to be throwing on flat ground, maybe close to pitching, so gradually getting to him. The A's last night, failed to mention, Jesse Chavez got the A's first save last night.
Yes, and that we should have caught that.
Yeah, but I mean the fact that normally as a reliever you have to go 3 innings. Well, he did that as he relieved Jesse Hahn in the 6th inning, 3 2/3 inning, and a great performance. And those are kind of times you want to reward a pitcher if he pitches that well. Let him finish it, which he was throwing very hard anyway, and pick up the save. So congratulations, Jesse Chavez, the first save for the Athletics, coming in the 12th game of the season.
Yeah, he made good stuff last night, Jesse Chavez. He may have to, well, not have, he's a little bit on hold as far as possibly starting next week. Jesse Hahn, of course, had to leave with the blister. And as Hahn may see if he can throw a bullpen tomorrow. Strike 3 called, fastball on the inside corner. So a good pitch there by Duffy. He picks up his 5th strikeout.
Well, Duffy, all of a sudden, after the ball was hit back at him by Fegley, he has settled down, and he did give up the hit to Reddick, but a great play by his left fielder. But he's starting to get the fastball down, and he's not throwing as many to the outside part of the plate, which we note many times with a lefty trying to aim to the outside corner, and the ball is just off the plate. Greg Gibson not giving those pitches, so his veteran catcher's moving inside, getting a couple of strikeouts on the inside part of the plate.
So Jesse Hahn will throw a bullpen in Anaheim, Ray, to see how that blister feels. And if it doesn't feel good, then he may have to miss a start, and Jesse Chavez would take that start, which is Thursday, right, in Anaheim. So
asked Kurt Young about that, and they did talk to Jesse, and they had to do some work on the middle finger on his throwing hand, the one that caused him to leave last night. And
Canna with a base hit to left field.
So speaking of Jesse Hahn, he's our forward right choice. Last night, his first win as an Athletic. 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 walk. He threw 65 pitches, and now we just hope that the blister's okay, because he had a couple innings left in him yet, at least.
Well, he may have gone the pitch count about in the 60s in the 6th inning, so he was, looked at it there. That was after the ground out in front. But he did say it was the two-seamer, that he would put his finger on the two-seamer. But as Kurt Young about it, you see the numbers for Hahn last night, spectacular. Just 65 pitches, 13 ground ball outs, a couple of double plays. But Kurt said typically weather will affect a pitcher and the blisters. But he said last night that wasn't an issue. He said it's just the texture basically on the hand of Jesse Hahn. As you see the middle finger on the throwing hand, and the issue there also is the fact that there are a couple of cuts, like little razor cuts, versus just a blister. So they have to heal. And the best thing, you do not want to see anybody, a pitcher, because they use the fingers, but to rush it and maybe have to alter his delivery and hurt something else because of it. And I'm sure the A's will make sure they take the proper amount of time to not jeopardize the future of this young man who is a very good pitcher. And in fact, the A's are very fortunate to have him in the rotation, and the depth, regardless what happens in the future with guys who will be coming back off the disabled list. Pitching is always key, and the A's seem to have an abundance.
Runner goes, pitches a strike, throw to second base, not in time. Coming off the bag on the slide was Canna, but he was able to reach back and get his hand back onto the bag for the stolen base.
What a good take by Ben Zobrist, allowing Canna to take off on first move. And it's the read, perhaps the high leg kick by Duffy, not giving Kratz a big opportunity, but Kratz also getting his first start. Salvador Perez catching every day up until today. Kratz did get in the 9th inning on Friday when Perez was removed for a bench runner.
So 2-1 is the count to Zobrist, who has walked, stole the base in the first, and then had an RBI single in the third.
Well, the slide, feet first, trying to grab it with the hand, and then back quickly to see if the infielder's on the bag, he can stay with the runner as he overslides.
Zobrist swings and misses. 2-2.
But Infante had to come up in front and take it, so instead of being on the bag to apply the tag, probably would have been out. He had to reach back, and that's when Canna was able to put his hand on the bag.
Fastball fouled straight back. Zobrist playing second base today as Jason Frazier starts to throw for the Royals. Zobrist has now started 5 games in left field, 5 at second base, and 2 in right field. Up the middle, base hit center field. Here comes Canna. Here comes Kane's throw to the plate, and it's late, and Zobrist comes through again. So the A's lead 2-0 thanks to Ben Zobrist.
Well, and a stolen base also, and how rare is it that you see a stolen base, and then, especially for a team that doesn't run that much, slide step, Ben Zobrist, fastball down, just dropped the head of the bat. Great job of hitting, protecting with a couple of strikes by Zobrist. This time, with the throw going to the plate, he stays at first. And Mark Canna, who has shown some very, very good speed, just ahead of the throw. The throw a little bit offline, but great 2-strike hitting by Ben Zobrist, again driving in a big run.
So that'll bring up Butler. Still only 1 out. Butler, diving play by Moustakas. Out at second, out at first. Terrific double play turned by the Royals, started by a diving play by Mike Moustakas. A's get a run on the Zobrist single, 2-0.
App for live baseball. That is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcast, statcast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet.
2-0 the A's lead, bottom of the fifth, rubber game of the series. Ben Zobrist with a couple of RBIs. And Kazmir, good again through the first four. 3 strikeouts. Just a couple of hits allowed. He'll face Infante, Kratz, and Colon. Infante, as good as Kazmir is, he likes facing him. And a base hit in the second inning. He's now 8 for 20 with 2 home runs in his career against Kazmir.
Moved up a few spots in the batting order with Colon, Dyson, and Kratz not playing a lot, so they're the bottom 3 in the order.
And now 2-0 to Omar Infante. He's 3 for 7 in the series. There's a strike on the outside corner. Driven to the gap. Nobody's going to get it. Infante digging for second. Here comes the throw, and it's late, and that's a leadoff double for Omar Infante. It's amazing how some guys just own certain pitchers, even if they're high-quality pitchers like Kazmir.
Well, the pitch a little bit away, maybe a backdoor cutter, but he elevated it, and Infante able to pull it. You know, just as much as the hitters know, the pitchers know, and it kind of works hand in hand, because you try to make good pitches against a guy that you know has handled you well. You know, as are the numbers for Infante against Kazmir.
There's Kratz. First pitch right there, first strike. Angels have tied up the Astros 2-2 that game in the top of the 5th inning. Kazmir grabs it, looks at second, and scrambling back to second is Infante, so Kratz cannot advance the run. So 1 away here in the 5th. Scott Kazmir in April, so that's so far this year, and it includes today's numbers. And remember, last year in April, he was 4-0. So early season has been good to Scott Kazmir.
And he just handled a shot back up the middle that probably would not have gone into center field, but definitely would have advanced Infante to third. Instead, he remains at second after a gold glove play by Scott Kazmir.
Christian Colon does not have a hit yet this year. He's playing shortstop in place of Escobar. Dyson is the on-deck hitter. Colon rolls one in the hole. Simeon has it. He's going to make the long throw, but smartly Mark Canha comes off the bag to make sure it doesn't bounce past him. So smart play by Canha, and it's going to be an infield hit for Colon.
Now Brett Lawrie going to his left, and almost indicated that he had caught the ball. He did not. So going back to third was Infante. Well, maybe this is the reason. And they're checking on Infante. Maybe something happened, and as he was trying to get back, or I don't know if we're able to see anything that happened. He's looking at his groin. That's not good. That is not good. Groin injuries. And I bet the deke by Lawrie, I bet the thought of maybe going to third and stopped, and of course also when Kratz hit the ball up the middle, handled by Kazmir. So when you stop and try to take off, that's usually when the groin injuries occur.
That's Orlando Calixte. He just called up from the minor leagues a couple days ago, and he's going to take over. He's the only backup infielder, with obviously Escobar still a little bit banged up. So Orlando Calixte comes in.
Kazmir handled this, and that's when, and he pointed to his right groin area, and I think that's when he hurt himself. I think he got it right there, and you could see the look on his face, and when he had to stop and then retreat back, and now who are they checking off?
So now they're going to look at an ace player, and it's Ben Zobrist.
Now, the game he did miss in Houston, there was feeling a little bit with his heel.
So he's coming out.
Well,
and Sogard's going to pad up, and he's going to head out there.
Zobrist seems to be running or walking well. I don't know what happened, but a double play that Butler hit into, the diving play by Moustakas, and as Zobrist went in, he slid early. And did not tell what might have happened then. Check the left knee. Check the left knee. Kind of slid on it and then popped up.
Kind of an awkward slide.
Huh. Well, we'll find out.
Also, the young man that came in for the Royals, Orlando Calixte, this is his major league debut, so he is on a big league diamond for the first time. Calixte, so he's the runner at second. Sogard is the new second baseman.
Well, it's important for Sogard to take some warm-up tosses, which he did, and you're allowed to do that as a replacement, because Dyson, if a similar ball is hit as he did in his first at bat, Simeon probably would go to second and see if they could do something. But this is a tough man to double up if he hits the ball on the ground. Just have to think in advance. Get a ground ball, get one out for sure.
Pick off, and right at the bag. It was actually a perfect throw. It was right at the bag, and Simeon was able to get his glove down. A couple of hits for the Royals here in the fifth as they're trying to get on the board. Mason takes low, and so low that it goes right through Fegley to the backstop, and now it's second and third.
Well, Josh Fegley will look at this one and see that this was an improper way of trying to block a ball. This is uncharacteristic. He normally does not do it. He normally goes down, turns his glove to the side, backhand, does not get down and block, and almost like he was coming out to throw, which was not a throwing situation. But Marcus Jensen, I'm sure, will continue to work. But Fegley has done a very good job of blocking balls. That one, though, just scooted under his glove.
Corner infielders in. Dyson, a little flare past third, trouble, but foul. Just foul. So Jim Joyce was right there. He just turned around and got a good look at it.
If you're a Royals fan, all 39,000 are saying that's going to be a double because that's kind of the way it. Scott very happy that that ball just floated. Now maybe the wind going strongly from center field maybe pushed it because it was not hit hard. It's kind of served out in left field by Dyson. That close to being a two-run double about 120 feet. So both runners going. And remember, just one out, but they were reading it perfectly that nobody's going to get to it.
Kazmir looking for a strikeout. Calixte at third, Colon at second. Breeze continues to pick up here at Kauffman Stadium. Should reach the seats, and it will.
Well, you're right about the strikeout. And Scott Kazmir is a strikeout pitcher. It's just a matter of a lefty on lefty and what he might be trying to do. And we've seen Dyson, and basically all he's trying to do is just slap the ball and take advantage of his speed.
Kazmir, no look, and here's the 1-2 pitch. Roll towards short. Simeon has it. Flips to first. Run comes in to score. So Dyson was able to put it in play. Calixte comes in to score. It's 2-1. So Colon ends up at third.
He gave him a pitch that he could do exactly what he did, and all he was trying to do was just slap it. A little cutter away, and he did slap it. And maybe the fact that a runner at third and the hard breaking ball didn't want to take a chance of bouncing one, but that's the difference when you have a runner at third and a wild pitch is scoring. So now trying to get the second out.
So here's the leadoff man, Paulo Orlando. Fastball overthrown a little bit by Kazmir. 1-0. Still low pitch count, 61 for Kazmir. That one missed just a little bit inside. Close pitch. Now remember, Orlando, a tall, well-built guy, but he runs very well. That number from last year, it seemed like he was able to get out of trouble just about every time. Laurie's got it. Straightens up, throws, and they just got him at first on a close play. So a run on a couple of hits for the Royals. We're moving on to the 6th inning, and it's the Athletics 2 and the Royals 1.
That's the A's will be back at the Coliseum. They'll take on the Houston Astros. That's next Saturday. 20,000 fans will receive their creative T-shirt courtesy of Grant Thornton LLP, which features Sean Doolittle, Coco Crisp, and Sonny Gray. So a Sean Doolittle fleece blanket and an emoji T-shirt with the same Sean Doolittle on the front, along with Coco and Sonny Gray.
2-1, the A's lead, 6th inning in front of a packed house here at Kauffman Stadium. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. It's the veteran Jason Frazier, 37-year-old right-hander, 12th year in the big leagues. He came to the Royals in a trade from Texas last year in July, and then the Royals re-signed him in the offseason to a 1-year contract. Like him in their bullpen. He can pitch the 6th and 7th innings. Colon moves over to second base, and Orlando Calixte, the young man who's making his major league debut, is now the shortstop. Frazier, a lot of years with the Toronto Blue Jays. And a year and a half with the Texas Rangers.
And got traded just at the right time to join the very hot Kansas City Royals and pitch in postseason, and re-sign with them. Nice to have a veteran in the bullpen, especially someone in this part of the game can eat up some innings. Remember, their closer Greg Holland went on the disabled list Friday night after pitching an inning and recording a save.
Well, when Frazier got to the Royals, went right to work, and when it was all said and done, he pitched in 23 games and had a 1.53 ERA.
A good split finger fastball, which he sets up the grip as he is waiting for the sign. You can see the grip of the splitter grip.
Facing Ross, Fegley, and Laurie.
That is the split grip. Thank you, Tommy. It's a great shot of the grip. Then if he changes to another pitch, he'll do it with his glove. Slider.
I feel like Glenn Ross would like to have another rip at. So Danny Duffy finished 93 pitches. So it was never real sharp today. You see the 5 walks to go along with 5 strikeouts.
Actually, he pitched better in the last 2 innings than he did in the first 3 when he walked. And thanks to Ben Zobrist from the A standpoint, a couple of run scoring singles. Time Zobrist with 2 strikes, ball up the middle, ball to right field. Unfortunately, now out of the game.
And a close pitch, and it's 3-2.
Wow. That pitch has not been given in the first 5 innings, and not given here, although we have seen some umpires who would ring up a hitter with that pitch.
And then Frazier ends up walking Cody Ross.
Greg Gibson, the home plate umpire, and remember back in the first inning, both benches were warned as Frazier came in out of the bullpen, and he will do it with any reliever that comes in the game now. He did it with Frazier, and basically what they do is they walk out the mound just to remind a relief pitcher who is out in left field in the case of the Royals. Remember, I warned both benches, which means that if you intentionally throw somebody, you could be automatically ejected. So it's just kind of a warning in the event the relievers weren't aware of what was taking place on the field. I think after a warning, if the pitcher is ejected, the manager goes with it now, which in this case, since the manager's already gone, it would be Don Wakamatsu.
Frazier grabs it, spins, throws to second for 1, and that's a double play. Josh Fegley hits into the double play. So quickly 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. It was the second baseman, Colon, who took the throw. Something that the middle infielders will have to decide before the pitch is thrown.
Well, it was tailor-made, and you're right. That's the important thing for a pitcher to know exactly who is covering. No hesitation. Knows that the second baseman's there. Shortstop's backing up, and that's all based on where they think the hitter's going to hit the ball.
So now Laurie will hit. Laurie has struck out twice, once looking and once swinging. Breaks his bat, hits one in the hole. Calixte, long throw, not in time. So Laurie, with very good speed, beat it out.
Yeah, there Wakamatsu out on the top step on the warning track, indicating to Marvin Hudson there might be a challenge. So the breaking ball, it enables the hitter to get out of the box quickly, and looks like there's not going to be a challenge. Wakamatsu back. Hustling is Brett Laurie. And I guess the old inconclusive. Nice play by Calixte, and as well as he could have made the play. Good hustle by Brett Lloyd to beat out the infield hit. And that shoulder right there, the ball not quite in Hosmer's glove, is where he crossed the bat.
So hit number 5 for the A's on the afternoon. Royals have 4. There's not been an error made in the game. And here's Reddick. He has one of those 5 hits.
Seeing the setup, the shift going by the Royals, see if Brett Lloyd with a couple of outs would also try to steal and put another runner in scoring position. A lot of room on the left side, 3 infielders to the right side, and means that the shortstop, I assume that's, well, let's see, with Cologne in the outfield as the second baseman, he would be the one covering. That's a long run for him to get to second.
Reddick hits it right through the vacated shortstop spot, and he's got a base hit.
That's a thing of beauty there. Whew. A smile from Ty Waller. That is a routine ground ball to the shortstop without the shift being employed. Right? Exactly there. And Moustakas, the third baseman, kind of is in no man's land. Where do I play? How do I play? And Josh Reddick puts a runner in scoring position with a base hit to the opposite field.
So a 2-out opportunity for the A's with Simeon stepping in. Simeon walked and scored in the 3rd and was robbed of extra bases and an RBI in the 4th by Dyson, who made a beautiful running catch in deep left center field. So he's trying to get that run back that they gave up in the bottom of the 5th.
Want to take the chances with a similar ball hit last time by Simeon. See if Dyson can make another play. He had the speed. Kane in center, Dyson in left. Of course, Orlando in right. A lot of speed in the outfield, but still a huge outfield and a lot of gaps. It's Kane, permanent fixture now in center. See the holes in the outfield. Mike Geiger was just hoping, can I wave my arm? Not only for the runner at second, but for Reddick at first.
So now Simeon sitting in a good spot at 2-0.
After all, when you have a bobblehead and your right arm is in motion,
yeah, you want
to show exactly how it's supposed to be done.
Sure. Keep it oiled up.
That's a good.
.20 pitch is hit to right, but Orlando backpedaling makes the catch. Side retired, so the A's strand a couple. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It'll be Moustakas, Kane, and Hosmer. 2-1 A's lead.
Start in the first inning, 2 outs, and then Black. There's one right off the left foot of Lorenzo Cain. Greg Gibson threw out Dave Island. Then Ned Yost started to come out. Greg Gibson said, "Don't come out. I'm going to throw you out." He did. Ben Zobrist then a base hit to right field. That would score 1 run. Orlando's throw a little bit late, but Zobrist thrown out at second. So Ben Zobrist again back up the middle this time with a base hit, scoring the 2nd run for the Athletics. Mark Canha. Unfortunately, though, Ben Zobrist had to leave the game. We'll find out why later. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world.
Kazmir against Moustakas. First pitch is high. Moustakas a line out, and then he hit into a double play. Cain to follow, then Hosmer. So the 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Royals. Canha, nice play, gets up, spins, flips to Kazmir, 1 away.
Well, there's
0 for 3.
There's your old PFP right there, and Scott Kazmir. Very quick off the mound. He falls off to the third base side, but watch as he falls off and immediately retraces, gets back to first base because with Canha making the play, going to the ground, if Kazmir, the pitcher, is not covering, it's a base hit for Moustakas. So nice play by Canha to dive, catch the ball, nice feed to his pitcher for the out, and even better for Brett Lawrie and Figley to go out, let him catch his breath before he throws the next pitch to Cain. It's textbook play, and boy, you have to do that as a pitcher and know that as soon as the ball is hit to the right side, automatically you break to first base to be able to be the fielder.
Cain takes a bit low, 1-0. Surprised to see today where the Rays let Grant Balfour go. Balfour struggling this year. Gave up a couple of runs last night. Designated for assignment.
He's not left-handed. He is breathing, but he's a good pitcher. And I would think that somebody in the world of pitching around baseball, that somebody would give a chance. If he clears waivers, designated, then he's basically, I guess, he can sign with anybody.
He's got a $7.3 million contract for this year.
Usually if that happens, they let him clear waivers, and then he's basically a free agent when signed at a prorated minimum with the club that he does sign with. So I'd say there's a pretty good chance. He's got some life left in his arm. The flag going left to right. Kauffman Stadium this afternoon.
That's a tough time for Grant too. I know he lost his father, who was sick for quite a while. He lost this past offseason. Correct.
We got a chance to travel. It's from Australia, and his father, I know, was traveling in the States with him when he was with the A's. He was with him, knowing that his time was limited. So it's good to see.
Sogard out into shallow right, shades his eyes, and Cain is retired.
Speaking of that, I want to say they got him in the Australia Hall of Fame too. I think you're right. I think Grant was invited back, and they had a nice ceremony. His dad was there, so we wish him the best. He's a good man and very intense, but never forget in 12 when the A's had the miraculous comeback and the right field bleacher creatures, man, they did. He went out and was just running around the warning track with the right field bleacher people. And that was fun to see.
That was a lot of fun.
And for him to sit in the bullpen, they say, "How many days you pitched in a row?" He said, "I don't care. Give me the ball. Let's go." That's it. And he got him, and it was a beautiful thing to see. We wish him the best.
Hosmer takes outside. So 1-1 the count. Hosmer a ground out and a fly ball to center field. So what Kazmir has done today is he's been able to control the middle of that Royals lineup. Changeup a little high, 2-1. Shot center field and a base hit. Ball was down. In fact, it may not have even been a strike. It was down under the knees, but Hosmer has a base hit.
The count in the favor of Hosmer, and he was able to expand his strike zone. And you're right. It's a good pitch, maybe even out of the strike zone, to the point that Hosmer just dropped the head. And say what you want about Eric Hosmer, Gold Glove first baseman, and They thought he'd be hitting for a lot more power, but the way he makes contact, take what you get, which in this large yard here, a lot of gap power.
So here's Kendrys Morales. Morales hits it hard right to Laurie. Laurie straightens up, throws across in time, side retired. So we're headed to the 7th inning, and the A's hanging on to a 2-1 lead over the Royals.
Sportsnet California is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
A's trying to win the series here in Kansas City. Pitchers duel today. A's 2, Royals 1, top of the 7th inning. Then when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change in tune-up. Ensure oil change, tune-up, small experts. The veteran Ryan Madsen, who made the Royals roster out of spring training. He's been around a long time, and there was a time when he was one of the better relievers in the National League with the Phillies. But arm surgery.
Pretty good sign with the Angels. Couldn't pitch.
That's right.
So a good fastball, mid-90s, 2-4 seam with a cutter and a change-up, and the Royals going with Frazier, the right-hander, Madsen, and these are the others out of the bullpen. Of course, Chris Young is still down there, and Holland on DL. They added one more, but Herrera's moved to the 8th inning. Sam Fuld trying to do something in this inning against the right hand.
And Fuld hitting for Gentry. Fuld 295. Oops, one right over Ty Waller's head. You're all right, Ty. We know how you feel. I just felt like at this point, falling down is a lot easier than trying to get back up.
Should have been a hero.
Get down. So 1-2 to Fuld. Canna to follow. High fastball, 90 miles an hour. Fuld chased it.
No, high cut fastball and just came in on the hands, and usually a hitter will recognize the height of the pitch and not swing, but he did and could not make contact.
You know what, Ray? That was his pitch too when he was so good with the Phillies. Is good cut fastball, and he was throwing it at a pretty high velocity. Here's Canha, who has been on base a couple of times. Strikeout, a walk, a single, stolen base, and a run scored so far from Mark Canha.
Clouds are coming in, and he's been fortunate the first two in the play, and win one, lose one, and trying to hold off the rain enough today and win the third game of the series and head west. And probably the people in the West Coast said, "Can you bring some rain with us?"
Boy, ain't that the truth? We wish we could. Pitch is a strike on the inside corner.
The inside corner kind of in the height, and that's again with the home plate umpire today, Greg Gibson, not Trip Gibson. I saw Trip Gibson in Oakland.
There's a Trip Gibson now.
Yeah. Didn't know if Greg changed his first name, but it's still Greg.
And he tried to hold up, couldn't do it.
Yeah, the changeup he saw and saw the bat head go through. Did not defer to the first base umpire.
No, that one was fairly obvious,
yeah.
I think. 2-2 pitch, a little bit high, and now full count. 95 miles an hour from Matson. Setting up outside, and the ball's hit to the right side. Diving play. Colon gets up, fires in time. Nice play by Christian Colon. That looked like a base hit off the bat.
And you always look at the angle of a second baseman going to the outfield instead of going straight. He went to the angle, got it. Oswald, a footwork change at first, and a nice play by the young second baseman to throw out Mark Canha, who was very alert trying to take the outside fastball to right field.
So Sogard's first at bat.
We have noticed the socks from Eric Sogard. Of course, he kind of started the trend. Sonny Gray, we got Billy Butler today, and Ross, and the stirrup socks. And interesting story that Eric Sogard found these online.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was in the off season. He said he's looking for some socks, saw them online. And of course, the great Steve Vucinich said, "You like them?" And so he ordered a bunch of them. And that's beautiful. Why the different players are wearing them. So I said, "So you actually found?" He said, "Yeah, I was looking for them." So Billy Butler's got them. Ross is wearing them today. Sonny Gray has. Nice look. So the great Steve Vucinich said, "Okay, you guys want to wear them?" He had a box ordered. Then they were in his locker here in Kansas City.
Right field, headed for the corner, Orlando, and it's off the base of the wall. Sogard hustling for second. Sogi with a double.
So a nice trend started by Eric Sogard, and a nice double. Almost hooked it into the seats. So Sogi getting a 2-out double, getting a scoring position, got the change up and pulled it down on the corner. And hit it at the base of the wall, that close to being a solo home run. That's the best place to hit it too if you're going to in this park, and it's right down the line. See if Billy Butler can come through, which he loves these opportunities with a runner in scoring position. In this case, 2 outs.
He's got the game has a feel to it where I think an insurance run would be a good idea.
And Billy Butler needs a hit to keep his streak alive. He has a 12-game hitting streak. First 12 games played by the A's, and Butler all in the DH role. Plus, he has also established a new Oakland record for 10 consecutive hits to start his first season. But trying to expand on that, and this would be a perfect time to do it.
Pitch, good pitch to hit, good swing, fouled straight back. Astros leading the Angels 4-2, top of the 7th.
Hittable pitch here, and now Butler will go on his 2-strike approach. Outfield came slightly to right center as they figure that Big Country Breakfast would try to wait as long as possible with a couple of strikes and go that direction.
Johnson with a quick look, and the pitch bounced towards short. Calixte has it, side retired. So Sogard with the 2-out double. Ace can't get him home. We've reached the 7th inning stretch on a Sunday afternoon in Kansas City. 2-1 the A's lead. Sports news for the Bay Area fan. Know-it-all with Sportsnet Central this evening at 6 p.m. and it's on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Highlights, clubhouse reaction from this game. Warriors and the Pelicans preview of Game 2 of their series. Game 2 will be tomorrow night. And all the NBA and NHL playoff action. Kelly Johnson, Henry Wolford will host it. Sportsnet Central. Good ball game today here in Kansas City with the A's leading 2-1. Getting set for their 4-game series in Anaheim starting tomorrow night. Kazmir, in his 3 starts this season, 19 innings pitched, just 9 hits and 21 strikeouts. So he's off to a terrific start, trying to go 3-0 to start a season, Ray, for the first time in his career. He's never done it.
Well, he's done a great job. Pitch count still very good, 75 through 6 innings. And I guess he's a little bit quick today as they're holding up play momentarily for that clock in right center field. Being drenched by the fountains and the wind blowing from left to right. He's drenching the clock that's winding down now to close to 20 seconds, which means it's time to play ball.
We were ready. We were ready when that clock got to 30.
That's right. Had to get the walk-up music, though.
Some changes for the A's. We'll give those to you in just a moment. Canna goes out to left field. Fold goes into center. We're going to do first baseman. It's Big Ike Davis. So Canna goes to left, Fold to center. Davis is now at first. Kazmir's still out there.
It says a lot about Mark Canna, doesn't it? That stays in the game as a rookie and goes from first to left and played very well at first, and a couple of throws low from the left side of the infield, handled them very nicely.
This is the first major league at bat for Orlando Calixte. He takes a very close pitch.
Should have been rung up.
Ben Zobrist, left knee soreness. That's why he was taken out of the game. Simeon charges, has it to first, and that's the first out here in the 7th inning. Kazmir's pitch count still very good. coming up on 80.
If you're right, over 100,000 for this 3-game series, as they just announced today, and that will take it about 110, 108.
How about that, huh?
That is great. That is great for the Midwest and Kansas City, especially this time of the year, because school in session, of course, it's a weekend series, but weather at times will be a little bit hard to come out and support. But this sea of blue today, again, just like the first 2 games of the series, been outstanding.
Well, last year, the Royals drew 1.95 million, so they did not quite get to 2 million, over 24,000 per game, but they had an increase of 200,000 from 2013, and they're going to have a huge increase this year as well. So when you think of a 2-year increase, it's going to be significant. So good for the Royals.
And it's great for them, and of course it helps to be able to acquire players because additional revenue that's generated because of the attendance increase. All good things happen when you win.
1-2 to Kratz. And he swings on a foul tip caught by Fegley, and Kratz strikes out.
Foul tip, you could hear it, and Josh Fegley immediately catching the ball and showing it to Greg Gibson. The foul tip. He put the glove down, turned it properly, and did not backhand this one, and immediately showed Greg Gibson, "I've got it in my glove." Kratz said, "You got to be kidding me," and that's an out.
Gibby holding up that fist right there, letting them know you're out. And I'm going to hold that fist up till you stop talking to me.
And when you come back from behind the plate, I'm going to tap you on the back with the same fist I just called you out of. Now that was a good play, and again, it's important for the catcher to turn the mitt properly. In this case, palm up to let the ball, the foul tip, go in. If he tries to backhand, he traps it.
Sam Fuld hustling in, full dives, can't get it. Colon has a 2-out bloop single.
Good job backing up by Mark Cannon. Allowed Sam Fuld to go into his tailor-made dive to try to make the spectacular play. Again, the wind might have knocked it down a little bit. Sam coming hard, tried, came up almost, but Cannon backing up, keeping Colon at first, which in a 1-run game is extremely important. So great job by Canna, who goes from first to left and very alertly backing up. Here comes the big man. Not quite the speed of Dyson, but pretty good hitter, and Salvador Perez.
So Perez to hit.
Okay, I have a feeling this is going to be a not complete off day for Salvador Perez. He's going to pinch hit, but you would have to think he would stay in the game, and somebody would go in the outfield, and Kratz would be the one to be removed. So we'll see what Don Wakamatsu and the Royals decide. Of course, Ned Yost probably down on the runway watching the game and still managing, but this is a big out to get the very popular Salvador Perez.
And he swings and misses at the first pitch. Well, he's a hot hitter.
Good fastball outside, and he is a big swinger, very aggressive swinger.
Six times he's pinch hit in his career. And that's a good pitch by Kazmir, and it's 0-2.
Hitter takes a fastball like that, Captain's looking for something else, because this is a hittable pitch, a little bit better maybe than the first one, and down in the lower part of the strike zone, but Kazmir gets the call.
7 pitches so far. Fegley keeps it in front.
That's a good block. Great block. Look at the difference in this one. Of course, we saw on the foul tip. Watch the glove. Watch the mitt. That's the key right there. Gets the body in front. He blocks the ball. And maybe something. He's caught Kazmir now for the second time in the 3 starts. But for him to turn the glove the way he did earlier, that's just not him. So it's good to see him block the ball that well.
I think if you're the Royals, you You'd hate to finish this game and not win and not have used Perez at some point. He's such a hot hitter. He chased a high fastball. Kazmir with a big strikeout, and that ends the 7th inning. So a hit and a runner left, and the 8th inning is coming up. Still 2-1 A's.
Every Friday home game, subject to availability. You can get 4 prize-level tickets, 4 Coliseum hot dogs, 4 medium sodas, and 4 bags of peanuts. And they're just $60. Go to athletics.com/family pack for tickets. And you think about that, 4 tickets, you get all those goodies, and it's just $60. That is one great deal. Athletics.com/family pack for those tickets.
It's starting to rain just a little bit. Drips of rain just starting. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Kelvin Herrera pitches for the 5th time this year. We saw him on Friday night. And he's going to face Ike Davis. Davis his first at bat.
Well, with Duffy going just 5 innings, Frazier, Madsen, an inning apiece, and then this is their hard-throwing right-hander, who is their 8th inning pitcher.
Gordon now in the game in left field, and Salvador Perez stays in the game, and he catch. Pitch, and now it's 0-2. So Gordon's spot in the lineup looks like will be the 7th spot. That's where Pratt's the catcher went. Fastball is outside at 98 miles an hour.
I think this is the case of the Royals using their power pitcher in the 8th inning. Since it's a 1-run game, they would like to keep it that way and try in the next 6 outs do something against the Athletics. And looks like the A's bullpen quiet. The tarp is on the mound, so it looks like Scott Kazmir, pitch count just at 89, will back out for the 8th inning. Cap, I like your thought process. Insurance, always good to get insurance, and especially with speed and what it can do in a game, insurance against this ball club would be good.
Slowly hit toward the shortstop. Calixte throws in time. Ike Davis, a broken bat. So Davis is retired.
That's a broken bat.
That's a good one.
Matter of fact, that boy has both pieces, handle and the end of it. So that completely fractured that one. But you always know Steve Vucinich has plenty of bats to carry on to California.
So here's Fegley, his 4th at bat. He's 0 for 3. Took a little off, had a lot of movement on that one, did Herrera. Fegley now 4 for 12 on the season. Herrera grabs it. Couple steps off the mound. Fegley 0 for 4, and there are now 2 outs here in the top of the 8th.
That low strike called by Greg Gibson on the first pitch, something he's not really done today. And that kind of forced Fegley to swing at a similar pitch and ground out. And this is a time when a catcher, and Fegley's had a little bit tough day at the plate, 0 for 4. But very important time for a catcher to forget about his offense and think about his catching, because this is an important 2 innings coming up. And I'm sure he will do exactly that. He's upset that he's not getting some hits, but also realizes that a 1-run game, his job behind the plate is critical at this time.
Laurie 1 for 3, a single and a couple of strikeouts. And the first pitch well off the plate inside to Laurie.
You know, if he could take a 98 from Ventura last night, what's another 98 today? That one moving in, heading for his left thigh, but he got out of the way.
That one behind Laurie,
yep.
And they threw him out. So we keep thinking it's over.
He didn't hit him, though. Evidently not, because it threw behind him. That means Wakamatsu's got to go, too. That is the rule. And
Royals
he's
are running out of coaches.
Yeah. And Gibson's basically telling him to stay in the dugout. I mean, and that's smart. And there's no reason to do it. But the rule, from what I understand,
Laurie and Herrera pointed at his head. And that's what got Laurie mad, and Laurie started walking toward that Royals dugout area, but I just saw Herrera point at his head, and you know what? That's bad.
That is horrible. And if we saw it and it's shown, somebody from the league office is going to see it, and that's going to be something that should be taken advantage of and concerned. And the Royals bench is saying to the bullpen, go back. And they're trying to diffuse this whole thing. It's getting ugly, and they just trying their best to diffuse it.
They're coming Herrera out of the game.
And you know what, okay, to be very honest, that's not smart. You got your best reliever coming in. I mean, it missed it. And Laurie started.
So Herrera, you know what? He had every intention to do that when he was out in the bullpen warming up.
Exactly.
He knew exactly when Laurie was coming.
But you have a 1-run game. And the Royals got to be thinking, what are you doing? You know, it's one thing to think about it. But this is a 1-run game. And now Gibson's talking to Wakamatsu. He is the acting manager with Yost, who has been ejected already. And from what I understand, and again, with both benches being worn, if a pitcher is ejected because throwing at a hitter and ejected, that means the manager is supposed to go too, unless they have changed that. We'll see if Don Wakamatsu does stay.
You see that?
Yeah.
You see Herrera.
Yeah.
See, that's when Laurie saw Herrera point at his head. And you can see it. On the far left side of our screen. So great job by our guys in the truck finding it.
Because that, you know, it's dangerous. It's one thing He took one on the left arm.
Don just said, I'm already gone.
That's right. So there you are. You said Yost was thrown out twice. Now Locke has been thrown out twice.
So it's the situation that just won't end. And now Wakamatsu, who's about as mild-mannered of a guy as you'll see, he is all over Jim Joyce, and Jim Joyce not letting it die. Franklin Morales has come out of the bullpen. He's warming up. So he is going to be the new pitcher.
Well, see, we talked about Gibson has a reliever coming in. He's worn both benches. He's telling Herrera, I've worn both benches, and basically telling him, you throw inside, you give me the impression that you're trying to throw at somebody, I'm going to eject you, which is automatic.
He was really paying attention to him, too.
Yeah, right. So how can Dyson be ejected? He shouldn't have been on the field. If you're out of the game, you don't come out on the field. And now they're saying he's ejected, too. But somebody did come out that was in a sweatshirt. Didn't have his cap on, with no hair. So whoever that was, and when you're out of the game, the worst thing you can do is show your face on the field in an altercation, because you're not supposed to be out there anyway. You're supposed to be in the clubhouse or on the bench, and you're not really allowed to come out on the field.
And let's remember, the ball did not hit Laurie,
right.
So he's not at first base. Right. The count is 2-0. And now Gibson's going to have the chat with Morales. So Laurie is going to step into the batter's box.
Then Morales just said, thank you, Gibby. I understand what you're saying. So Herrera, though, listened to Gibson. He did not pay attention, or at least he didn't care, because he mentally, and he knew. He started walking. I think he knew he was going to be ejected. And Kai, I agree with you. That started in the bullpen. And maybe even started before the game.
Oh, no question.
You know.
If you do that in a 2-1 game in the top of the 8th inning, then you've been thinking about, we're talking about Herrera, you've been thinking about doing that for 2 days.
Yeah, and it is, and again, it is, from the A's standpoint, game 13, game 12 for the Royals. But still, you're trying to win, trying to do something special. In a one-run game, think about it. Why would you take the chance, and you're the best reliever? Wade Davis still the closer. But you got one of your better pitchers making that kind of a mistake in a crucial time of the game.
So watch again. Watch on the far left side. See, right there. See, he pointed at his head. See? And he did that twice, and that's what made Laurie very upset.
You know what? You think New York's not looking at that, too. And there will be some serious. He'll be fine for being ejected and throwing. But to do that,
it's a bad move.
That is a horrible move. So Franklin Morales, who pitched last night, pitched an inning, finished the game, gave up a hit and a strikeout. The hit was to Brett Laurie, leading off the 9th inning. But he was stranded when Morales retired the next 3. So Laurie with 2 outs, and we'll see what happens. It'd be nice if Laurie could do something with 2 outs and try to get the insurance run they're looking for.
So who's managing this team right now?
Probably Dale Swaim. Yeah, Swaim is out on the top step, and pitching coach, manager, bench coach ejected. It's kind of like the chain of command downward.
So Laurie will step up with the count 2-0. Quite a weekend here in Kansas City.
It's Pinot, California, Dale Swaim, Cubs manager, and now bench coach for Ned Yost.
And it's just the top of the 8th. Pitch is inside, so now it's 3-0. And 3-0, Laurie swings at it and pops it up.
Not a bad
Cologne,
idea.
shading his eyes, side retired. So we're headed to the bottom of the 8th. Things are still a little chippy here in Kansas City. 2-1 A's lead. Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. So 2-7-0 for the A's, 1-6-0 for the Royals. Kazmir still out there. He's been very good for 7 innings. Zobrist left with knee soreness after having a couple RBI hits. Duffy went 5 and 4 ejections. Yost, Wakamatsu, Island, and Herrera. So 3 coaches and a pitcher. A couple of hit batters, 1 by each team. Maybe some hurt feelings.
And to clarify from Mike Swanson, Dyson was not ejected. He was already out of the game. Removed in the last inning. The only thing about if you're out of a game and you're on the bench, which you do remain there to support your teammates, you're not allowed to be involved in an altercation. So Mike Swanson did clarify that Dyson was not ejected. Wakamatsu, as the acting manager, was.
1-1 to Paulo Orlando, the leadoff man. Moustakas to follow, and then Kane. And Kazmir sitting at 91 pitches.
Eric Flaherty, lefty, loosening the A's bullpen.
Changeup just missed outside.
Well, this pitch has really not been called all day, and Gibson in his location where umpires do set up. That's the old angle to the outside part of the plate, so he's been very consistent from pitch 1.
Hit foul just to our right. So 2-2 the count to Orlando, who has popped out, struck out, and grounded out. He's 0 for 3. Kazmir working into the 8th inning here. Kazmir he's had just one 3-up, 3-down inning. So he's had some traffic to work through. Changeup rolled foul. But as he did seemingly all the time last year, when guys did get on base, he seemed to make just the right pitch at the right time. Pitch is popped up foul. Davis near the seats, and yeah, it looked like he was struggling to find it.
So that's 2. Orlando is hitting the same direction back to back. Actually, second at bat did the same thing, and Ball just out of the reach. Canna first, and now Davis, who a little difficult time picking it up.
Another 2-2 off the plate. So Orlando has worked it full against Kazmir. Outfield just slightly shaded toward right center. Payoff pitch. Foul back. So Kazmir went right back to the fastball. Kept it away from Orlando. O'Flaherty should be ready out in the A's bullpen. And it's low. He walked him. He went with a 3-2 changeup. And a leadoff walk here in the 8th inning. And that's going to get this crowd into it even a little bit more. The first walk issued by Kazmir today.
Well, Kazmir helped keep a double play in order with Dyson, who led off the 3rd inning, kept him close. Moustakas grounding into a double play, and now you have the speed of Orlando, and try to do the same and hope that the results are the same with Moustakas hitting into a double play. Oh, not even thinking about it.
And it shows bunt. And he bunts it right back to the screen.
They squared around, or at least punched at the ball, and usually bunt attempts are a little bit better. We'll see if he tried again. Lowry's up in front of the bag at 3rd.
So now Kazmir jumps ahead quickly 0-2.
See that quick pitch that time? And that's good, because first was a bunt. Second, though, figured if he's going to do it again, try to quick pitch, which he did. He was not bunting.
Technically with a block. So over 100 pitches for Kazmir. He threw 95 in his first start, 91 in his second start. Moustakas got a pitch a little up and had a good swing.
You know what a great move is for a left-hander is when the runner first is going back to back. That's a great move. Orlando got a pretty good lead, but the first move by Kazmir, he went back to the bag, and that's not good if you're thinking about stealing. Now, Rusty Kuhn's trying to help him out a little bit, maybe telling him something about Kazmir.
Sogard, diving play, throws to first, and they get the out there. Nice play by Sogard. Gets Orlando to second base.
Now Bob Melvin going to the mound. He was probably hoping for a double play with Moustakas and trying to at least try that and keep the runner close at first. And now he goes with another lefty in the bullpen. And great play by Sogard, inserted late for Zobrist. Now, this is really by Bob Melvin a question to. Yeah, he's going to the bullpen. He would ask him, but bottom line, it's up to you, and said, let's do it. Great outing by Kazmir.
So 7 1/3 for Kazmir. O'Flaherty coming in when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Scott Kazmir, another outstanding performance by the A's lefty. 7 1/3 inning, 6 hits, just 1 run, and a nice double play. 103 pitches, and good job, excellent job by Scott Kazmir. He leaves with a runner at second base. Great play here. A nice feed by Canna. So Kazmir leads as a player of the game, looking for his 3rd win. Would need the bullpen to get 4 outs, make it 5 outs. And there's 1 out in the 8th inning, and the A's will try to do that to get themselves a victory and a series win. It's up to Eric O'Flaherty in this inning, and one of the closer games the A's have played so far this year.
So here's Lorenzo Cain. Cain is 0 for 2 today, hit by a pitch, a strikeout, and a pop out to second. First pitch is a fastball low. Cain 3 for 10 in the series.
And even though Hosmer had a base hit in his last at bat against Scott Kazmir, you got first base open, and you don't want to put the potential go-ahead run on, but it does allow O'Flaherty to pitch carefully to this right-handed hitter.
And Cain rips one toward left field. Canna going back, can't get it, goes all the way to the wall. Orlando's going to score. Cain is going to stop at second, and just like that, we're tied at 2. Lorenzo Cain with the RBI double.
Thought he had it.
Yep, so did
I
I.
thought Canna had the shot at it a little bit towards the end of the bat, the left center. Hit well. I even think Cain, who has tremendous speed, he had to think it was going to be caught. If he's running, it's a triple. And the A's are actually fortunate that it's only a double, because with his speed, if he's running out of the box, it is a triple, and he's a 3rd with 1 out, but instead he gets to second. Sienna, good effort, but maybe the wind affected a little bit. The wind blowing strongly from left to right. And he just could not get to it. The play Dyson made robbing Simeon earlier. So Scott Kazmir will get a no decision.
So it's Hosmer with the go-ahead run at second base here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Everybody on their feet here at Kauffman Stadium, nearly 37,000.
Sadly, Kite, the only walk by Kazmir scores.
Cain runs. Throw to third is not in time. Well, maybe Ray, he was determined to get to third somehow.
Well, he had a pitcher who was not concentrating. Now the infield has to come in. O'Flaherty did not even look back to second base. And when you don't look, and you don't give a second look, you're allowing the runner to do exactly what Cain did. So you're right.
Hosmer lays off that slider, 1-1 the count.
And watching Cain out of the box, it was shocking that he only got to second, but he is at third now, and they're trying to bring him in.
Take by Hosmer. Henrys Morales is the on-deck hitter. Wade Davis is up. No surprise there. Hosmer chased that slider that time. That's the same pitch he laid off the pitch before, but could not lay off this time.
Well, Cain showing exactly what his intent is, and that's he went on contact as soon as the ball was fouled by Hosmer. He was coming down the line, so anything on the ground, it's going to be a contact play, which means Cain is going to be coming down the line, and the A's hope it's going to be hit at somebody.
Nice block by Fegley.
Fegley again, a very good block twice in this at bat. He's blocked a couple of runners or a couple of balls in the dirt, keeping Cain at third to this point.
Hosmer laid off. That's a tough take for a young hitter with the game on the line, and he did a good job of taking it.
And especially with a couple of swings he did make to protect, but you know, that's one that kind of started at him, and if it had been a good strike, it could have been a called strike 3, but it's out of the strike zone.
So here's Kendrys Morales. You have a chance to get a double play with Morales because he just does not run very well, but good numbers against O'Flaherty. He's 0 for 3 today. The ball's bounced foul.
A ground ball that's caught by the infielders, it would be a double play, and that's why the A's have to do exactly that. And just have to hope it's hit hard enough at one of the infielders so they can turn the double play.
Morales is 9 for 24 batting right-handed this year. Field line and foul.
You know, great play in this situation. Now 2 strikes, it's kind of a moot point, but you have 1 out, 1st and 3rd, and you know the A's are looking for a double play. That's why hit and run is a great play, because it really takes away the possibility of a double play with the infield back, and if you put the ball on the ground, it's going to be a run.
And Hosmer runs well at first. In the dirt, Fegley again a nice block. Yeah, I was looking over at Hosmer thinking him taking off is not a crazy notion.
Absolutely.
So
at this point, it wouldn't be a hit and run, but up until the 2 strikes for Morales, who doesn't run well, and the Royals know that he is a ground ball double play possibility.
1-2 pitch again in the dirt.
Beckler's getting his work in this inning. So what he hasn't done at the plate, he's done behind the plate, which is a tremendous job, saving an awful lot in this inning alone. That is 4 he's blocked with a runner at
3rd. 2-2 pitch just got a piece of it. I mean, just. It was well off the plate, and Morales reached for it.
Barely.
Good pitch. Good take, and now 3-2. Orlando Calixte, the rookie, is the on-deck hitter.
Now back to a count in which Hosmer might be running, and you have to hope for a hard enough ball that if it does run and it's a force at second, you got to be able to continue to throw to get the double play.
Hosmer goes. The ball's hit high in the air, deep left center field. Full going back, and it is off the wall. Kane scores. Here comes Hosmer. He will score.
Get to the 3-2 count. There's your fastball right down the middle. Morales thought he'd hit it out. He was not running. He's trotting out of the box, and this is about as close as you could get off the top of the wall, but Hosmer read it perfectly, and he scores from first on the double. He was on the move to try to stay out of the double play, but the A's could not get the ground ball they were looking for, and the 3-2 fastball crushed. So not only do they get the go-ahead run in, they get the insurance run. And that close to hitting their only home run in this series, but still without one, but still a chance to have at this point a 2-run lead in the 9th inning, or going in the 9th.
Here's Calixte. Strike in the inside corner.
And Morales At least he knew he was getting a run in from third, but even more so, good base running by Hosmer. He did not assume he was going to be out.
Murray charges. Nice play. Throws in time to get Brooks there. Short hop scooped up by Lauren. So 2 outs with Morales staying at second. And here's Gordon's first at bat.
Oh, that's a great play because it gets past him. That's another run, maybe, depending on Morales and his speed or lack of.
So 3 here in the bottom of the 8th, and the Royals have taken the lead. And Gordon, who came in the game last inning to play defense, takes a first pitch strike from O'Flaherty. So when it's all said and done, it's a no decision for Scott Kazmir. These final 2 runs have been charged to Eric O'Flaherty. Ray, in the open of our show, we talked about the pitching, especially the starters who have been very good. R.J. Alvarez loosening up, and the team has scored a lot of runs in the early going, but it's been a little bit of a struggle for the bullpen. Simeon has it, side retired. So 3 for the Royals, and the A's got one more shot. We're going to the 9th. It's the Royals 4 and the A's 2. As our A's insider Joe Stiglitz provides wire-to-wire reporting of the A's 2015 season with breaking news, video, special features, and more. It's only on CSNCalifornia.com. Well, Joe will have plenty to write about in today's game, the whole series, really. It's been quite a series. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smart expert. So Wade Davis comes in, off to a great start. No surprise there. He'll face Reddick, Simeon, and Ford. And he is the closer with Holland on the disabled list.
A surprising first pitch curveball. The A's are down by 2. They need a base runner, and I wouldn't think that Josh Reddick is up there to swing at just any first pitch, so I was able to take the curveball easily.
Outside corner call to strike. A couple of hits today for Reddick. 2 singles. He also hit a fly ball to center field. A's with 7 hits. Royals with 8. 4 for 9 with 4 strikeouts in his career against Wade Davis.
Yeah, baby.
A little bit high, and the count is 2-1.
Morales came in and got one out. 2 pitches, and pitcher of record. Now this at bat, an interesting setup by the Royals because the shift is not being employed. They have shortstop Alexei kind of playing a normal position, and third baseman Moustakas. So that's what getting a hit or two to the opposite field against the shift will do.
Fouls that one right back to the net.
Could also be thinking that Davis's 98-mile-an-hour fastball is not that easy to pull.
A's will be back in action tomorrow night in Anaheim against the Angels. Two pitch, hit hard. Hosmer has it. Underhands to Davis, and that's the first out here in the 9th inning.
It came back with a curveball and a pitch that easily pulled by Reddick. Nice play by Hosmer. As always, the Gold Glover makes those plays simple.
Since June 27th of last year, Wade Davis numbers 0.62. He's found a home in the bullpen after being a starter with the Rays. So here's Simeon. They just made an announcement up here in the press box, Ray, and we were kicking around the thought that it looked like there was a player ejected for the Royals as well. We thought maybe it was Dyson. It was not. It was Escobar. Alcides Escobar.
Oh, wonderful. That's great.
So maybe should not be surprised by that. But Escobar was ejected from the game along with Herrera, and in the course of the game, 3. There are 2 coaches and a manager. So the Royals have had 5 ejections in the game.
So evidently Escobar got the correct text message, huh? Decided to get ejected.
Still confused by that.
Yeah. That's great movement on that foul ball that came.
Yeah, it was heading right for me mid-sentence. It was coming in hot. Setting up inside. Cutter, front door.
Cut
quite a bit of movement at 95. Simeon 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. High velocity with late movement, and that's a tough at bat.
There's the movement. It's a little cut fastball, but Simeon looks good and then disappears.
So Full, the last hope for the A's, needs to get on. If he were to get on, Stephen Vogt would hit. Vogt has come out into the on-deck circle. That's Mark Canha's spot. There's a strike. The Let's Go Royals chant ringing loudly all around Kauffman Stadium. They're into it, folks. Full hits a high pop-up foul territory. Moustakas hustling over, but it'll be well into the seats. So now Sam Full is in for a fight. He's down to his final strike. Davis is ready. Bounced foul. So Sam Full trying to give Davis everything he's got.
This is where Sam Full, in his very slight movement of his front foot, He'd like to get on base to get Stephen Vogt, who's swinging the bat very well. Give him a chance to maybe one swing time again.
Past Ty Waller, and Fold stays alive. That one got in a little bit on Sam.
He's going to have a tough time after this game writing all the reports. The umpires.
That's true. 5 ejections.
Yeah. Scouts always have to send the reports, but umpires also do it, especially in a game like today.
Thank you very much, says Sam Fold. 2-2.
Well, the outside pitch has not been called by Gibson all afternoon, whether to right-handers or to lefties.
And Fold one around. Throw to first, and that's the ball game. So a disappointing loss this afternoon here at Kauffman Stadium as the Royals score 3 in the bottom of the 8th, and they defeat the A's 4-2 and take the series. So time of game 3 hours and 8 minutes in front of 36,755 today here in Kansas City. The final score: the Royals over the Athletics, 4-2. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Brody Brazil and Bip Roberts starts right now.